April 3rd, 1974. I know this is a day late, but when I was 11 years old, April 3rd, 1974. It was about 4 o'clock, 4 miles west or northwest of here. Beautiful, beautiful day. About 77 degrees. I think it was on a Wednesday, and I can't remember if we went to school or not. I can't remember. I might have been homesick, I don't know, but I was petting our dog. We had a dog named Fufu, and I was petting her. I think it was a she. And it was probably, like I said, it was mostly sunny. We were in the cloud in the sky. Birds were chirping. It was a perfect day. It was like a Sunday, beautiful, but it was Wednesday. And Mom called me in to supper. And you know how kids are when you go wash your hands. I went to wash my hands and went into the living room with my dad. And I don't remember what he was watching on TV to save my neck. I can't remember, but I'll never forget this. Next thing I seen, he always laid on the carpet. Always. He ate his dinner. He just loved laying on the carpet. And I was sitting on the couch, and a lightning bolt was drawn. Next thing we know, weather bulletin. Now, at 11 years old, I know bulletin from grade school. It meant emergency. But it was a drawing. I'll never forget it. Lightning bolt. In 1974, there wasn't much technology. And then his weather cube on top of the refrigerator went off about 20 seconds later. And it was tornado warning. We went outside then. We had a light wood screen door, old light wood screen door. We rented the house. A lady ran a small store out of it, a little convenience store, I guess you'd call it. And we lived in the L shape of the house. As we went out, third of the sky. Let me explain how dark this was. It was actually in that direction. That's toward Loveland. Now, if you go by the road, Loveland's about 7 miles from here. But if you go away the bird flies, probably 3.5 miles to Loveland. It was so black. I was too young to understand anything about tornado outbreaks. I didn't know if there was one out. But when you seen that sky, and it was so dark and black, I tell everybody this, that the trees had the bark against the background. All trees had a white tint to it. Every tree you see was against that dark background. The bark was white looking. That's how black it was. People look at me when I tell them in person, and they don't understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was that black. And I know we had a bad tornado outbreak here a few years back. I still haven't seen a sky that black. And the lightning looked like it boiled. I mean, it just looked, when it lightning, it was continuous. Bam, bam. It would stop for a moment or two. Bam, bam. I remember Dad, and Dad was a grown man then. I remember him getting nervous and saying, and I quote, "Now that's some tornadic weather." I don't think he said activity. It's been 39 years ago. But I remember him saying the word tornadic. Anyway, Mom's busy cooking supper. He yells at her. He's out in the yard. And you don't pester somebody when they're busy cooking. Anyway, she gets mad. She said, "I'm busy cooking." She's yelling at him from inside the kitchen. He yells again. He said, "Get out here now." She screams back at him, "I can't, I'm busy cooking." Then he said, I'll spell mild here. Then he says, "Get your ASS out here." Well, as she comes, you can tell. I was watching the screen. I was watching her come out. You could hear her. She was mad enough where you could hear her footsteps. She was, marching mad. She was trying to get supper, and didn't have time for his baloney. Of course, she didn't know anything yet. And I remember her nose hitting the screen door, and she had enough momentum where she'd been marching forward, walking, that she opened the screen door from just the force of looking at the... See, normally any screen. That screen was kind of loose. If you look at a screen door, you can't really see any you can't really see any side vision just in front of you, unless you get a close up to it. But when she bumped that screen door with her face and nose, the door opened a little bit. She got a glimpse of how bad, black and dark it was. And then she said, "Oh my God, you know, what are we going to do? We had no basement." So we go in. Dad turns she had the oven on baking anyway. He turns it down on the warm, and we put all of our supper in the oven. And so we had the Mainville. I don't think that, my grandma or my mom's sister had a basement. Of course, the next day was next door at my grandma's daughter. But we went over there. We was trying to find some coverage. We was trying to find a basement. You know, you're panicked. And by then, half the sky was already black. It was fast moving, and it stayed. That was the bad part about it. 2 days actually, the fourth too. We got over there, and the odd thing about it, everybody was gone. Another odd thing about it, well, it really wasn't odd in a way. It was every yard you see. Now, folks, April 3rd, 1974, I might have been just 11 years old. I was 11 years old, but I remember like it was yesterday. Every yard, all the family was outside in every yard we passed by. We went to Lebanon. I'm pretty sure we went to Lebanon. We went to get us a Kentucky Fried Chicken. Dad was thinking we could get out of the way of it. He didn't realize we had WLW radio on. We had the CB radio on, but we had WLW radio Cincinnati on. He didn't have the scope of it yet, and they didn't either, because radar was, just wasn't good enough yet. We went to KFC and got us some dinner. Now we got into some bad hail up there, very bad hail. And we pulled into this driveway, and Dad was thinking about breaking into the basement. I remember Mom telling him, "Well, you get in trouble." Well, I remember Dad, when he gets nervous, he gets angry. He cusses a lot. He did then. He said, "Well, I'm sure a judge, a court will understand. I'm trying to save my family." And he was getting ready. He actually cracked the door open. I remember that, because I wish he'd closed that door. I put my window up because all the hail. He's got his door open, and we can't eat for all the hail. I had to pick the hail off my food. I'm not backing that up. And he's getting ready to rush over and break in if nobody was home, or knock on the door or anything to get us in the basement. And remember, he closed the door. We thought we was a pretty bad. I mean, he started hailing pretty big. My cousins, my aunts, she bought a brand new 1973 Monte Carlo. I remember her buying that brand new. Hail destroyed it. There was hail dents all over it, and they put some of that big hail in my grandma's freezer, and she kept it for a long time. I got to hold it, touched it. It was probably bigger than that. It was a huge hell ball. But her whole Monte Carlo, brand new, about a year old, was completely dented. She had electrical problems from the beginning. Every month, her brand new Monte Carlo was in the shop. Of course, since then, 39 years, they've greatly improved vehicles. But that super outbreak of tornadoes, whew, man, I'll never forget that. Jesus. And that's why I'm panicky today. People look at it. If I hear a severe thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch, I get a little panicky. People don't understand me. They don't understand. Even at my age, they don't, because most of them wouldn't even live in here then, from out of state or what have you. Until you see it, you don't know. I know I was going to tell you something else, but I can't. I think it seems like I missed a few pieces of this story. Here's how bad it got. When before we took off, and when Mom finally come out, we looked at how bad the sky was. Dad said, "Listen." Mom was talking. Dad said, "Listen." She said, "What?" He said, "Listen." "I don't hear nothing." He said, "That's my point." There was not a bird chirping. And the eerie part about it all, I guess you've probably experienced this in most any storm like that. Like a tornado outbreak, it gets an eerie quiet. It creeps you out. It's so quiet you can hear if somebody is walking in their bare feet up to you, going smack in the ears. You can hear it. Very creepy. It was so quiet. Oh, it was quiet. But we ended up. I'm pretty sure it was Lebanon. Dad will probably correct me on this. Seemed like he did one time. I do remember we got a Kentucky Fried Chicken. But we finally headed home. But we may have went another direction, but I do remember the KFC. Okay, I don't want to make this too long because I'm tired.